We got this dresser off of Marketplace for $40, so come along to see how we fix it up and sell it for a lot more. The drawers were a bit wonky to start with, so I'm hoping that they're just not in its tracks right, rather than the tracks actually being damaged. And it was in fairly good shape except for some swelling over the top edge. So we'll start off with some degreaser, and this will help us with any oil or dirt left on the surface. We're using simple green, but products like Krud Kutter or even Dawn dish soap will get the job done. So my mom came to visit over the holidays, which is when this was filmed, so I was back home spending time with her, so that's just kind of why Kendall's doing all the prep work for this one, but you'll see me in a little bit. So this is a mass-produced factory piece, and that usually means that the outer layer is especially smooth. So Kendall's going to remove that shine with an orbital sander, and that's really going to help our surface grab onto our primer. So a detail sander like this one is really good for smaller areas, but also when you have like curved edges like this leg here, you can put this little foam attachment and that'll just adapt to those curves. So once everything's been given a once over with the sander, it's time to make some repairs. Luckily, this piece only really had cosmetic damage, so he's able to patch that up with a little bit of wood filler.
So sanded down the top, you can see all the spots that were lifted before from water damage. It's pretty flat now. So what I'm gonna do first, seal it with Kilz before I seal it with like a Bondo or a spot putty. We'll be able to see the texture through the primer. So you can already start to see it here.
Once the veneer's back on, we can seal and fill it again with some Bondo. And this is what's going to get rid of that corky texture.
And I'm gonna sand this stuff down.
While we wait for the Bondo to dry now, Kendall's gonna work on removing that finish off of the handles. We are planning on painting most of this piece, so a little wood show on the handles would look really good. The Bondo gets sanded down flat, so now we have a nice even surface for primer.
Early arrived.
We're pouring the primer through a strainer to catch any clumps so it doesn't end up on the piece, and then just diluting it with a touch of water so that it flows through the paint sprayer better. Now as for the primer itself, we're using PPG Breakthrough, which is actually created to be a cabinet paint, but it has really good adhesion and durability, which make it a really good primer. It is a little bit more expensive than say like Bullseye, but we actually got this as a mistint, so everyone wins here. The primer's going to dry overnight, and so the next day we just came back and filled and sanded any spots that we missed before we're finally ready to move on to paint. We'll be painting the body black, and for that we're using Black Magic Sherwin, not that you can tell. This is also a cabinet paint, so it's got a longer dry time than like a regular paint since there is urethane in it, but the good thing about something with a longer dry time means that it's got a lot of time for it to level itself out. This paint cures really hard and shell-like, so there's no need to top coat.
Black will be able to take through. What are you guys doing? Where are you guys going? Okay. I didn't have the camera button pressed.
Yeah, he forgot to hit the button, but you get the idea. By now the first coat of paint is dry, so we're gonna throw a second coat onto the drawers. We did have to fix up a couple areas on the body though before we can spray it again.
Okay, so after the first coat of paint, we saw some little damages that we've now filled.
When we have to do touch-ups like this, we do like to go in with a spot spray before we move on with the full coat. So that's it for the spot coat. We did end up doing like 5 full coats on the body because it kept drying weird and spotty since it was -7 out, which the optimal spray temperature is like 10. But on the 5th coat, we decided to crank the heat up all the way for a few hours, and that coat finally came out how we wanted. . 'Cause 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 So I didn't get the coverage I wanted on these sides and these. Oh, there's a hole in your butt. So I'm gonna go in with a roller. Now that the paint is finally done and dry, we're gonna take off the tape from the handles and give it some conditioner before we stain them.
We are now going to pre-stain the wood handles.
Now this is a mixture of wood glue, poly, and water in a 1:1:2 ratio, and it makes it easier to stain tricky woods like poplar, which is what our handles are made of. This will partially seal the wood so that it makes the stains come out more evenly. It's kind of like moisturizing your elbows and ankles before putting fake tan on so that the color doesn't come out patchy, if you know. So we just brush it on, let it dry, and then sand it down gently. So all of the wood conditioner is dry now. We're just gonna sand it down pretty lightly with one of these like squishy pads, and then we can apply the stain right on top. So we're going in with water-based stain in the color walnut. And so this is what it's gonna look like. And this is the same wood poplar. I want to use a little brush. So we got all the handles stained. We're gonna finish up with a coat of oil-based finish. So now we're at our last step. We're gonna seal the wood, and for that, I'm gonna make my own wipe-on poly. Just oil-based poly. I'm gonna thin it out and apply that to the wood. It's chunky at the bottom. Now we got this. It's probably good.
Okay.
So we got my finish here. And say a quick prayer. Quick prayer. I really like making my own finish because number one, it's really cheap when you mix your own. It's super easy, it feels really nice to apply, and it also gives you that oil-based durability, which is also really nice. Second coat. So before I show you the reveal, let's take it back and see how far we've come. It was a pretty outdated piece of furniture, there was water damage all along the top edge, and overall it was just really boring. But after some hard work in the freezing cold, we were able to bring it back to life. So like I said earlier, the piece was $40, we used about $20 in materials, and then we ended up selling it in under 24 hours for $625. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please subscribe, like, and comment, and Kendall and I will catch you in the next one.